like a Hellcat.
Hey everyone, it's Mr. Tyrone Wolf here. Now listen, I'm not really in the condition to do this because, I put my paw on backwards, I'm stupid. I'm not really in the condition to do this because I got into a really bad car accident yesterday. I thankfully didn't break anything, but I have a minor head injury, whatever the heck that means, and I have tons of muscle soreness practically everywhere. But you know what? It's whatever. So today it's been a long day. I've been tiring out very easily. So I woke up because I was taking a nap earlier. I woke up at about 7:30 to my hip aching tremendously. And so I kind of just have to push myself up with my arms because my hip wasn't working quite right and it was hurting so much. I mean, I took some ibuprofen, so I'm okay for a while now, but my back was killing me. It was bloody killing me, mate. So I got myself up, sat up on the couch and grabbed my computer and onto Twitter. And oh my gosh, Kothorix the dragon is at it again. Because, that guy who said he supported pedophiles, whatever the heck he said in that video? Well, he's at it again, saying that child labor should be a thing. What type of people do we have in society right now? Like, I don't even think Nazis support that bullcrap. That is terrible. No. Why? So, I'm gonna pull up this, stupid, insane video on my MacBook, and we're going to watch it together. Here we are, here's the video. Let's eat some popcorn and enjoy this. Stupid dragon explain why child labor should be a thing.
I know it's an unpopular opinion, but...
Yes, it is an unpopular opinion. With good reason, too. Most unpopular opinions are unpopular for an objective reason. Just gonna say that right there.
Hear me out on this one. Ours is...
No. I'm not gonna hear you out. That sucks. You suck. Choking a chode.
Society would benefit enormously from bringing back child labor. If you don't... During the Industrial Revolution, many manual labor jobs were replaced by machines. Those jobs didn't require heavy lifting, and the machines were simple enough to operate even by children.
So you're going back to the Industrial Revolution as your example. Are you serious, dude? Many people died and lost limbs during that time. A lot of people did, actually. So why are you bringing that up? Why is that a good example?
Children typically were cheaper to hire, so doing so became common practice.
Doesn't make it right.
Now, due to some constitutional thing, child labor was outlawed in the 1930s, and I think this is what really started America on its downward spiral.
No, what put America on its downward spiral was after World War II? After World War II and all the Hitler nonsense, that's when the whole world started to go downhill. So saying that taking away child labor is the reason for that makes you very ignorant, sir.
It became cheaper for companies to manufacture their products in other countries where child labor was still cheap and legal, which is what we still do today. If we were to bring...
I mean, yes, but there have been a lot of campaigns against buying stuff from countries where there is child labor and stuff like that. There are tons of those out there. A lot of people just buy stuff that's made in the USA and the USA alone to make sure that the workers are treated well because they don't want to endorse something where the workers are underage and underpaid.
child labor back to the United States, companies would be able to afford making things here instead. Why should
Okay, well, a lot of people aren't gonna buy from those companies because they don't support child labor. Most people don't.
Chinese children be profiting off of us when we could just hire American children to do the same thing?
Okay, just because the Chinese children are doing it doesn't mean it's a good thing for America. China also built a wall around its border. And that's not something, well, hopefully not something we're ever going to do in America I'm hoping Trump's plan to build that wall fails, because we can't be like China. China is kind of a sucky country. It's a third world, very poor country. So why would we be going to be like them?
Not only would it give them jobs, but it would lower prices of various goods for us and increase our nation's
Okay, a lot of children don't want jobs. We should let children be children.
GDP. About 23% of the population of the U.S. is under 18. That's a huge untapped workforce.
Yes, and it should be. Child labor got outlawed for a reason, and I think you're forgetting it completely.
People raise the argument, what about school? Well, we already know our education system is broken. 37% of Americans are functionally illiterate, so...
Okay, well, what we need to do then is fix the education system, not put them in the workforce. How's that gonna fix anything?
Why even bother wasting 12 years of people's lives? Instead, get them started working early.
It's actually not a waste to a lot of people's lives, because once you go through school, you graduate, and you have the choice whether or not you want to go to college, and you can get a job from there. So that's kind of what school's for, to prepare kids for that job they're going to be getting in the future.
By the time they're adults, they'll be masters in their craft. Not only will a nation save millions on education, but the government will be actually making money through taxes.
Okay, here's the problem. You're adopting this philosophy that we need to somehow make more money. I really think we should be focusing on more social issues our country has, like discrimination. Financially, we're doing fine. I'm sure we can go without the desperate reach for child labor. We're doing just fine. We really need to focus on the social issues, like acceptance in the LGBT community in the U.S. There's still a lot of people who can't even go to the South because of their sexuality and gender identity. But go off, I guess.
President Trump talks about bringing industry back to America, and I think legalizing child labor would be a huge step in that direction.
I'm pretty sure not even Donald Trump would agree with that. The Duckface is a despicable person, but I'm sure this is even too low for him.
We could incentivize companies to hire American children by
6 cents an hour? Look at that article. 6 cents an hour? Dude, I would throat punch somebody if I got paid 6 cents an hour, honestly.
Price matching what they pay kids overseas. 9 is half of 18, so if 18...
So why are you going on about... Are you saying that we should just become a third world country and do child labor? Because that's what Actually, I'm going to go on a limb and say all of the countries who do child labor are third world countries.
18-year-olds are making minimum wage, we could just pay 9-year-olds half. 4 to 5-year-olds would be making a quarter of minimum wage.
I am losing brain cells just by listening to this guy talk about it. Like, oh my gosh. Why? Is he, trying to turn the U.S. into China or something? Because that's not going to happen.
Really sure how all the math works out. We might need to go a little bit lower than that to price match, but, they're kids. They don't know the value of money. We could all...
Actually, that is not true. A lot of children do know the value of money. I think that a lot of adults don't know the value of money. A lot of people don't know the value of money, not just children. How is child labor gonna This is...
Also come at this from the perspective that it would lower crime, specifically gang activity.
How would it lower gang activity? Oh, maybe you're gonna go into that with some wacky... Okay.
It's estimated that about 2% of kids nationwide, that's about 1.5 million kids, are involved with gangs.
And most of them are, like, in their teenage years, not, like, 9 or 10, like you're saying that kids should start working at, so... What are you going on about?
If we could employ those kids instead, we could reduce those numbers significantly.
No, they'd probably still find a way to get into gangs if they're dedicated enough.
I think this would be especially effective because a lot of those kids join gangs out of necessity. They come from poor families. So if we give
Okay.
them jobs, not only does it give them something to do, but it also increases household income.
Or, we could help the families get jobs. We could give them support. Government could support poor families. And poor families could try and find jobs, maybe, to even get some cash.
I think the real crime here is that poor kids aren't allowed to work, to be honest. A third...
Well... If they're too young to work, they're too young to work. It's dangerous for kids to work if they're underage. Why are we talking about this?
The way to think about this is the effects it would have on unemployment. If we took the initiative to employ the 23% of the nation under 18, that unemployment percentage would be significantly lower, just due to the sheer amount of people who do have...
Okay, so practically your only argument you have going for you is unemployment rate, goes down. No, it doesn't matter. That really doesn't matter. What about the well-being of the kids? You are thinking so much about money and not even about other things like the well-being of said children you're making work, but whatever.
Jobs by comparison. Now, there has been some concern over the safety of the children.
Yes, thanks for finally bringing this up. I want to see what you have to say about that.
Back in the Industrial Revolution, there was an issue where kids were often hired to clean or repair large machines because they were the only people small enough to fit inside them. This led to numerous kids getting mauled by the machines. It wasn't entirely...
Yeah, I watched a movie when I was in elementary school. This Irish girl who was working in a factory, she got her arm cut off. I think she even bled to death or something, and... She was an immigrant from Ireland because of the potato famine. And these kids who were coming from other countries were working at these factories and getting underpaid. And mistreated very much.
Entirely uncommon for them to lose limbs. This is a legitimate concern because on top of just working in factories, kids are useful for cleaning out ventilation shafts and things.
So even though you're acknowledging that this is dangerous, you're still advocating for it. That kind of shows me what type of person you are. You care about money and you don't even care about the well-being of other people.
Of that nature. And it's understandable that there are some safety concerns. But technology has advanced quite a bit since then.
Okay. What?
At least in the U.S. Robotic prosthetics are becoming more and more advanced as well as affordable.
Whoa. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Are you saying that you want all the children who lose their limbs to get it replaced with prosthetic arms? Okay, and you're just assuming they might survive from bleeding out of the side of their arm intensely? Bold assumption.
It won't be long until robotic prosthetics are seen as better than the limbs you were born with. In the near future...
Well, yes, but they may be, but you shouldn't lose limbs over a job, okay? That's...
Future, it won't be uncommon to see people having limbs removed purposefully in order to benefit from the advantages robotic prosthetics...
Okay, that's their choice, but if kids lose their limbs at a young age against their will, that's not good. They shouldn't have to lose any part of their body having to do your dirty work.
Aesthetics can give. I think it's fairly safe to say that kids love robot limbs. Full Metal Alchemist.
So, your argument here is, oh yeah, there's tons of problems with safety and stuff, but kids love metal limbs, so it's okay. They love robotic limbs, so even if they do have a near-death experience, that is completely fine because they're gonna have a cool limb. Even though it'll traumatize them for life, that's cool because they can throat punch people with their new limb. Sound logic. Sound logic.
Alchemist, for example, is one of the top-rated anime of all time, and one of the main quirks from that
So you're comparing an anime to real life? Okay.
universe that people like is the automail. Ask any kid if he would like to have an automail arm, and I'm sure he would tell you yes. It just seems like common sense to me.
That's not something I would have ever said yes to as a kid, because, I don't know, maybe I thought more deeply about it. I was, probably thought more about things than most kids did, but, I would not really like that at all. Because if I had to get a new limb, that would mean losing my other limb, and it would take a lot of time to learn how to properly function your new limb. You didn't mention that, did you?
In closing, the reasons to bring back child labor are pretty compelling. I think it should really
No, they're not. They're not compelling. You're literally just saying, cool robotic arms, money, awoo.
be taken into consideration. Plenty of countries are doing it, and it's working great for them. I think
It's not working great for them. They are third world countries. It's not working great for them at all.
it's time that America steps up. I've got a
Yeah, America needs to step up to the level Europe's on. Be like Sweden. Have the free healthcare. Have the free college. Have the stuff Europe does. We should try to be more like Europe, not like China. There are some countries we should try to copy after and do what they do. And then there's other countries like China that do this, that we shouldn't try to be like.
I ahead and created a change.org petition. Maybe if we can get 100,000 signatures, we can bring it.
I'm gonna laugh if you end up being the only one. And you seriously think people are gonna pay attention to only 100 votes for it out of how many people on this world? You're crazy.
To President Trump's
And you're sending it to Trump. You think Trump's gonna listen to a minority of 100? Okay, Cupcake.
I feel like he's the right person for this, someone who I know would really listen to it.
I'm pretty sure Trump isn't gonna want a part of child labor, but again, his fascist attitude, it surprises me every day.
And that's why I support him. And if you want to support me,
You support Trump. Okay, this makes a lot of sense, okay. I'm just gonna assume that you're an authoritarian right-wing person, because, I don't know, you're just acting like it. You seem to have the mentality of one, so...
and what I do, I have a Patreon. For $5, you get access to my Discord, which isn't...
Dude, I wouldn't join your Discord if it was over my grave.
not a cult. If you've heard that, it's not true. It's just a perfectly healthy, philosophical, and spiritual movement. Anyway, thanks for watching.
Ooh, hey everyone! So, that's the end of this video. Oh, my back. That hurt. That is the end of this video. It's been fun. This is Mr. Tyrone Pitwolf. Remember, don't be a jackass.